Hello everyone and welcome back to the Vintage Sewing Machine Garage. You are looking at my Necki Supernova Ultra Mark II. It's a mouthful, isn't it? This was, of course, one of the later iterations of the Necki Supernova series. They would also later on produce the Nora, which are wonderful machines as well. Anyway, the purpose of this video today, I think some of my viewers asked me this, said, hey, when are you going to show how to use this built-in needle threader? I'm going to put a little more light here. So, when you look at this machine head-on, you see this little knob, and you see this. It's like a little piece of clear plastic. You're like, what is that? Well, it doesn't take much. All you have to do, in fact, I don't think you have to open the door, but we're going to try this anyway. Now, I showed you guys how to thread the machine, and the machine is threaded. Now I'm going to pull the thread out of the needle. Oh my God, he had just unthreaded the needle. Well, of course I did, and that was on purpose. So I can show you guys how this machine was designed. I think they used to call these things automatica, which may be the Italian version of automatic, but point being, they wanted to wow their customers. We're going to make this easy for you. In fact, some of the advertising used to say, practically sews itself, right? I was going to use this light for the machine, but I'm wondering if it's going to be helpful or not. We'll try. I don't know. Let's turn it off. We still have some daylight, and I prefer that, and plus my little flashlight here. Okay, so what do you want to do? You want to thread the needle. How do you do it? You got two built-in helpful tools here. First, we're going to zoom in so we get better clues to what we're looking at here. Now, I'm going to show you guys what's behind the door, okay? But then we'll shut it because I'm pretty sure you can use it without pulling the door open, but we'll see. Okay, so I'm opening the side door, and in the side door, sorry, I'm going to move the camera for you so you can see. You see a piece of metal here, right? And there's a piece of plastic on the end. And there's that little nub. Remember the little nub? Okay, let's pull the nub down, and lo and behold, what do we have? We have a piece of plastic, but it's a magnifier. I don't know how you get plastic to be a magnifier, but, well, so be it. Here it is. You can see it right here, okay? Now, I open this. So let's say that I want to push this up, and there it is. I've already put it up. Eventually you'll do this and you may not even have to open the door, right? So let's pull this down again, okay? Now, I've pulled it down, but it also pivots towards you so that when you're staring down through this thing, I don't think it's going to pick up on camera, you now can have a nice close-up view of the needle. You can use this to help you see the needle to thread it, right? And I'll have to check and see, voila, look at that. It just goes up and vanishes. How nice. But I don't know if it's meant to be used in tandem or in addition to, but we'll see. But I'm going to show this to you because remember, you've got this little green nub. Like, what is that? Because you don't see this on the Supernova models, right? The earlier editions of these. So what you want to do is take it. We're going to have to zoom in here. It's going to mostly be nothing but my knuckles here. Okay, so you're going to turn this to the right. Okay, turn it clockwise. And when you do, look at that. That little arm that's been sitting up, it's tucked away in here. It's going to come down. And what do you suppose is on the end of it? Don't know if you guys can see this, but there's a needle or a hook of some sort attached to a piece of steel. Not plastic, but steel. This is a little... think of this as like a tension clamp, right? This piece right here, get a little more zoom. This piece right here is a clamp, okay? It's very similar to how these things work, right? These little, these clamps that hold the door shut like this right here. Is it even showing up here? There we go. Yeah, right? It's just a tensioner, right? So when you come down with this device, and again, you bring it around. See, it's spring-loaded, like so many things on analog machines. You bring this around, and you'll see it swivel down, right? Now, don't force this thing with the little knob here. Sorry to cover it with my thumb here. Don't force this and try to turn it hard. Take your hand, your free finger, okay, and just push to the left. There you go, and it'll lock in. Now, what have we got? We currently have this thing is locked to the needle shaft, okay? Now, you'll notice that the needle hangs. Make sure that the hook has gone through the eye of the needle, and if your needle is in the right place, it should. Now, what am I doing? What is the whole purpose of this? Well, if I take, I've already gotten everything threaded, thread guide, last one, but I want to get this needle threaded. What am I going to do? Well, let's get this foot out of the way so we can see better, okay? Now, remember that hook is sticking out of the needle hole, the eye of the needle right there. What am I going to do? I'm going to take my thread and I'm going to make sure it catches on that hook, if the hook is still doing what it's supposed to do, okay? I think. We're going to find out, guys. Now, what happens? I'm just holding the thread here, okay? Now, what happens when I get this thing off and I release it? Whoops, it didn't do what I wanted it to do. Now, it's very possible that this hook could be broken on the end. I don't know. I'm gonna have to inspect it. Whoops, gonna have to inspect it a little bit more here, see what's going on with it. We've got thread. Okay, it seems, and I think you guys can see it there in the camera, I think there should be an end to it that kind of grabs the thread. It should be doing that, right? And if yours, because you've seen me use the other hooks before, right? All right, that's, it's sliding, so I'm not sure. I want to come behind it. Something tells me I want to, okay, I tell you what. Let's get this back onto the needle once more. Make sure that this piece is through the eye, which it is. Now, and with all of my running around, I've managed to get my thread. Look what I've done. Ha! You will do this on occasion. Don't sweat it, guys. It's just not a problem. Here we go. I've managed to wrap it around the needle bar. Again, it's just one of those deals where you just backtrace your steps and you won't do it again, I promise. Once you've done it once, you won't do it again. It's hiding behind there. Okay, where are we? Let's go back to our thread guide here. All right, we're good to go. Now, let's see. What do we want to do here? What we want to do is get the thread to get hold of this hook so that I'll have to see if, in fact, it's far enough into the eye of the needle. But the whole point of this is to get the thread. It's running along the edge of this little thing, but I need it I needed to grab my thread a little bit easier so that when I pull the needle threader off, it's going to pull the thread through the eye of the needle, which is the whole purpose of this exercise. But I think it took me less time just to thread the needle the old-fashioned way. But that could be me. Don't blame the device. This thing was supposed to be there was all about it back in the day. All right, let's see here. Be careful you don't get to the right of the needle or you're just working against yourself. Okay, here we go. I've got this thread here. It's on the edge. It's on the edge of this little hook. Let's see what we can do. Don't pull too hard on this thread, but I've got it right on the very edge. Now, let's see what happens. Ha-ha! It worked! Hooray! Now, look here, guys. We think it worked. All right, the needle has been threaded, and it took about 3 times as long with this needle threader than it did with me. It could be that maybe my needle wasn't positioned quite right, because this device doesn't seem broken. It seems happy and ready to work. Who knows? Somebody could have used it a lot. I don't know. In any case, there you go, guys. That's how you use this device. Maybe if I I normally don't need a magnifying glass, pretty nearsighted guy, but if you do, you have one built in. Imagine that. I mean, what more could you ask for in 1960, 1959? I mean, this is it. This is the be and end all of fancy machines, or one of them anyway, from that time. And I know that those of you who love modern machines, and you may have some and you may find them useful, some of you may say, well, my new machine's got all kinds of features, and I'm sure that's true. But can your machine do all of this and make stitches like I hope we are going to see with this machine without any software, without any electronics, no motherboards, just good old-fashioned brawn analog controls? Well, this thing is, what is it, 62 years or so old, and it's barely broken in. I don't know if we'll be able to say that about today's machines, but I could be wrong. I hope I'm proven wrong. What do you guys think? How long do you think the new machines are going to last, fancy features or not? Anyway, guys, this is it. Someone had asked me about how this works, and hopefully you were able to kind of get a feel for this little tiny little hook. It's really small on the edge of this automatic needle threader. It's okay. You may have another device. They sell all kinds of things you can use to thread needles today. So whatever gets it done for you, but I wanted to demonstrate it for you. Thanks for watching, and if you have not subscribed to this channel, feel free to do so. It does not cost anything, and you can click on the little bell symbol, which will tell you when I have a new video posted. Thanks for watching, everybody.